Okay, welcome back to Second Battle of Winchester. This is battle at Stephenson's Depot. June 15th, 1863. We're playing through with Great Battles of the American Civil War. This is the Battles for the Shenandoah expansion set. And we're up to the fifth turn, 7 a.m. We just have this one and one more to wind it up. Currently at the moment, Confederates have a lead. They're basically at 18 points, plus they've got some cavalry. Union has some cavalry losses there as well. But it's a little precarious because we've got a couple units, both Williams and Stuart, which are precariously close to collapsing. Couple more units, and they will effectively be combat ineffective. So that'll give quite a bit of points to the Union, as well as potentially attacks on the victory hexes and getting units off the board. So we're at an interesting juncture here. So I've started the 7 a.m. turn. Confederates got the initiative. Johnson went first. Pretty much everything stayed kind of the same. There's no real change in orders. Everybody is there. You see the number of units are out of command. Ely is out of command. We have these two units of Walker who are out of command here as well. And McReynolds is out of command over there too. As I said, Johnson went first. Johnson tried a little bit of attacking to kind of disrupt the Union attacks up here with Williams. Didn't work very well. This flanking unit here, the 25th Louisiana, zoom in on them here a little bit, did not get the effect that they wanted. They tried a flank shot, basically scored a very low disruption with negative modifiers, and the 110th Ohio had suffered no effect. So a little bit of repositioning, some of the reinforcements coming up from Walker, a little ahead here to prevent this and hopefully cover the 10th Louisiana from getting lost. Hopefully somehow they can potentially retreat back off of there maybe, or hold out. Pretty desperate situation. To the center here, Stuart fell back a little bit, trading a little bit of the woods defense for the victory hexes. This is going to force the Union to not attack with as much force as they could have, but we'll see how that goes. They still hold out here because they did want to hold the bridge with the artillery. So the 10th Virginia, right down in here, stayed in place, tried to shoot at the 87th Pennsylvania Battalion, the A Battalion here, and failed miserably. They scored no hit on them, and or I think again another low disruption chance or disorder chance. But the 87th Pennsylvania scored a good hit on them, and actually scored a 1D+2, which reduced them, so now they are down to 4, and disrupted them too. So they're a little bit of a danger of collapsing, and if they do, that's going to have Stuart become brigade combat ineffective. As I said, Williams here is in the same boat. They've lost one unit already. He has 4 units up here, all in good shape. They're no risk, but there's a heavy Union attack coming up here as well. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. To the south, this is where the Confederates seemingly are strong, but a couple of problems came up here. The 37th Virginia tried to preemptively fire on the 18th Connecticut C Battalion and failed miserably, much like the 10th Virginia. They suffered a 1D+2. They suffered a D, excuse me, and they became out of ammo, so they cannot shoot right now. And pulling them out of line will be hard because of the artillery up on the bridge here trying to defend. So this is going to be a critical situation down here. But they do have help from the 4th Virginia and 37th, who unfortunately are out of command. So they will have one less activation to go. But they should be able to do something over there. From the Union perspective, they're still in good shape. And now we come to the second activation, which is going to be Milroy, which I'm going to take you through right now. I thought this would be interesting because this is going to be a crux that Milroy really has to do something here. Break through with Williams, potentially break through here or the center to try to take some victory hexes away and keep the point count as low as possible for the Confederates while they try to increase their victory points. So let's see how it goes. So Milroy's up. I think we're going to first off, do something housekeeping. McReynolds is not going to activate this turn. We'll take off his out of command. So he will have commands for the next 3 activations, which just leaves Elliott and Ely to attack. To attack. That's pretty much what they're going to do. They're also out of command, but I think we need to get them pressing as soon as possible here. So let's start with them down here to the south. And I think what we want to do, we've got all these units. We've got the Pennsylvanians over here, which I do want to have come up and threaten them there, I think. So I think that's what I want to do first. I think I want to have this guy come forward. Do they want to take their shot first? Because that'd be 0. Be 0-0 either way. They're disrupted though. Actually, I think I'll have them take a shot. Well, they're facing this way, so the artillery's not going to get them. I think they'll take their shot and then move forward. So they're going to be a 7, +1 for the rifles, -1 for the wood, so that's 0. Return fire will be rifles disrupted, so that's 0 as well. And they're a 4, was I saying? Yes, it's 4. So 7 against 4. Oh, the Union gets some good attack, good roll there. So 7 gets a 1D +2. Oh, that's going to be dangerous for them. And the Confederates get a, 6 on a 4 is a D +1. Let's do the D +1 first. So 87 Pennsylvania is a 6. Rolling, they roll a 2 +1 is 3. They're in good shape. So now, taking a look at the 10th Virginia, they took a hit, so they're down to 3. They haven't collapsed yet, but they're already disordered. And now they got to roll for another disorder, potentially. So they are a 6 with a +2. They roll 5 +2 is 7, so they do disorder. That's a second disorder, which means they lose a step, dropping to a 2. That's going to collapse them. And they are now going to have to retreat 1 to 2 hexes. I don't want them blocking them, so I'm going to need to kind of move them back over here. We'll leave Walker where he is for the moment. So that was successful for the Union. So they're now collapsed here. So that's 1, 2, 3 collapsed units for Stuart, who has a total of 1, 2, 3. They have a total of 6 units on the board right now. That's battalions and full regiments. So they're still okay, but they're really in tough shape because I think it's actually, now that I think of it, that might be equal to, yes, I know, I can't remember all of these things. Yeah, I give credit to the folks like Bill Byrne and such who can remember all these rules, but of course they play quite a bit. So yeah, more than half of the regiments eliminated, routed, or captured. The same thing with battalions. Oh, wait a minute, no, 7. 7th one is over here in the destroyed column. So they are going to be brigade combat ineffective. So that's going to give the Union 5 points right there. So that was an effective attack. Plus, they still have their movement. So here's the opportunity to do something. The guns are in a precarious position here. Of course, they can pivot. Well, they can't fire there, so that will be okay. But they can pivot here and fire, or they could retreat. Which, well, I don't want to lose the guns there because that's going to give them 4 points versus 1.2 points. Actually, yeah, okay. So let's get the Union coming forward. They're going to go 1 to there. That's going to inspire a retreat before, or a reaction movement, I should say, not retreat before combat. So they're going to actually retreat 1 hex to here. Yeah, they're going to pull back to here, I think. I think they can go 1 or 2 hexes. 1 hex to there, that still gives them some coverage. And I think they can turn, again, I'm going to have to, these are the little details here that I just need to refresh. I think they can, when they do a reaction movement, they can, here we go, reaction movement. Yeah, they just need to UDD afterwards here. Yeah, this should be okay. Yeah, I think they can. I think they can adjust there. If somebody tells me I'm wrong, well, that'll be fog of war. But they'll move there. But they do need to do a UDD. Oh, ooh, and they disorder. Ouch! They roll a 9, so they will flip over. And the other one, they're okay. All right, so they are there. They're going to come up. So now they're there. They've reaction moved back 1. Wait a minute, is that a, that's a disrupted, wait a second here, sorry. Right, yeah, it's a disorder. So they're set for now. So now they're going to, here's an interesting situation. They can move up. Oh, they could move up into here and threaten there, and that would keep them in range of, or actually, no, actually he'll move up to here, yeah, like so. So he comes up to here, he's going to do a turn, and then into here. Now this unit potentially do a reaction facing change. This is tricky because they can, if they face this way, they are going to potentially be flanked up here. Yeah, I think they do need to try to do the reaction. Roll a 5, they're okay. Even though that leaves their flank in the, actually, wait a minute. Wait. I can flank turn, or I can refuge the flank. I think it's going to be the same thing, except they're going to refuge the flank. Like that. There we go. All right, so now we get the 87th, second half, Battalion B, 1, 2, and 3. Now he is in the frontal hex, so he can't react. So now he can actually fire into them. So he's going to be a 7 with a +1 for rifles, +1 for flank, so 7 + 2. Oh, 11. That's going to be devastating. 2 hits. So they go down to a 3. Go down to a 3, and they're disordered, and they're already disordered, so they're going to lose another. So they're down to 2, and they're collapsed. Ay, 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 ay. Here they go, and they have to retreat 2 hexes. Now they've got to go in with these guns that just moved back, so they'll be into there. And be on top of them, right? I think they got to stop there so they don't get the guns going any worse than they already are. Okay, so 87 Pennsylvania really just did some significant damages, opening up these 2 hexes, which I think we'll exploit with the 18th Connecticut now. This 18th Connecticut, they should be able to go 1 to here, and then 2, 3 into here. Actually, they're going to go 1 and turn, and then 2, 3 in there. So now that puts them on the flank of the 4th Virginia. And they should be able to take a shot at them in the woods. That's going to be rifles, +1 for the flank, -1 for the woods. So it's only going to be a +1 for the dice, but it's going to be a 5 with a +1. 6 + 1 is 7 on a 5 is a D +2. They are an 8, so this could be interesting. Roll a 9. All right, that flank fire really did them in. So the 4th Virginia is now disordered, and they drop down. But that positions for a very nice shock attack on them if they survive. Ely is going to keep the pressure on here and have 18th Connecticut take a shot at them. They can return fire. So it's going to be 5 on 5, +1 for the Union, -1 for the woods, for the rifles, -1 for the woods, +1 for prepared fire. So they're not moving. So it'd be +1 for the Union. Confederate, rifle disorder, so it's 0. So 5 +1 for the Union, straight up 5 for the Confederates. Oh, Confederates got them this time. So 8 on the Confederates is a D. And the Union is +1 is a D -1. So that kind of balances things out a little bit for the Confederates. Makes it a little bit tougher for the Union. Now D -1 for the Confederates. So they're 7. 3 -1 is 2. They're okay. But there's still many more units to potentially move up here. I think what we're going to do also have the other 18th Connecticut move up into there as so, and Ely will come with them. So they've actually could get 2 strength points to fire on them. So that'd be 2 +1 for the woods, or +1 for the rifles, -1 for the woods. Just straight roll a 2. Rolls a 5. That's low ammo. It's going to be a D on the Confederates. We'll get the low ammo on in a minute. 7. He rolls a 2. Alright, so they're low ammo, but I think it's all going to be about shock attacks now. It's all going to be about shock attacks. Alright, so there we go. Now we got Maryland here. 5th Maryland, they've got to come up to support this too, so they're going to come 1 into there, across the river, across the ravine, so that's 2, 3 into there. They'll take a shot at them. That's going to be 6. +1 for rifles, -1 for wood. So straight up 6. Roll an 8. That's going to hurt. That's a 1D +2. So you go down to 4. That is just not good. And a D +2. There are 7. Well, 6 +2 is 8. So they fail. So they lose another one. They'll drop to 3. And they've got to retreat. We'll put that over there. They'll come to there, I think. They've got to try to hold that line as much as possible, even though they've lost one victory hex there, potential for a second one there. These guys are all set. Now, we've got cavalry. Oh, we've got this guy over here. We'll do that. That's a quick hit. Min is just going to try to recover. He's a 5. Rolls an 8. Doesn't recover. Okay. So now we've got cavalry. What do we want to do with them? I think they're just got to be protecting the flank. So they'll just wade. Oh, that's a big jump over there, isn't it? All right. Oh, that was a big jump over there too, but they can move the 1 hex. So because this is going to be ravine plus a slope. I think that's going to be a slope. Hold the horses a minute. That's going to be 2 levels. Cavalry plus 1, yeah. So that's going to be 2 levels. So that's going to be across river, across ravine, and then up level. Well, that's an interesting hex right there. So you've got the stream, that's a straightforward, but then you've got ravine, which is going to be a plus 1. Now, does the ravine count for the minor slope? Because that counts there. I'm going to say no. So that would just be a regular slope. So they're going to go 1, 2, or I should say 1 across, 2. Oh, but that's a no. That's it's just a trail, so that doesn't help too much. It'll help going uphill though. So 1, 2. So it's 1, so 2 points. I'll count it for. 3 points to there, and I think they'll stop at that point. All right. So now shocking attacks. The 18th Connecticut could shock attack that unit that's out of ammo, and they've got artillery right there. Oh, one of them's disrupted, but they still have that artillery there for 2. They could continue to charge them. They would be defending with a 2. Plus the artillery. They can't shoot back, but the artillery could. And their Napoleons at 1. That'd be 2, strength of 2 with a plus 4, I think it is. Yeah, plus 4. That's ugly. So that could get them into some ugly shots if they get a good roll. Which would be 7, 8. Yeah. Anything above a 5. Yeah. So there's a good chance that they would do something, even though they're going to shoot back anyways with the next shot. So yeah, we better take that shock attack. We've got to continue to push as much as possible. So there's going to be 1 shock attack here. I've got the potential of a shock attack over here. Of course, Eli's not going to be participating because he's not in any shock attacks. So this one is a little bit more dicey. Yeah, I think there's not going to be one there. So I just have the 1 shock attack here. Now, in terms of the shock attacks, we've designated them. Next, we've got to retreat before shock. Yeah, they could, but that would leave the guns to fend for themselves, so they're not retreating. Green commitment. Now the pre-defender shock. So the top unit is the 37 Virginia. They're a 6. Let's see. 4. They're okay. So they stand strong with their bayonets, pretty much. That's all they've got. So they stand strong. So they can't shoot at them. They're the top unit. Now, actually, the artillery is underneath. So at that point, Artillery cannot shoot at them. That's not good. So they have no ammo. Let's actually just break these out so you can see it. Put the shock attack on there. So the situation is this, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong at some point. We have 37th Virginia on top, who is in a tough situation. They're a strength point of 2. They're out of ammo. They're collapsed. Then we have the 1st Maryland B, disordered, and then we have the 1st Maryland A, which is totally on the bottom down here. And I don't think the 1st Maryland A can fire because they're at the bottom of the stack. They would have to be on the top of the stack to actually fire. So they won't be able to shoot back, which means that now we come to the shock attack, which is going to be 2 against 5. If I'm doing that wrong, please let me know. I'm always appreciative of comments. This does get tricky as things get more complex. And I always tell it's the fog of war, but I also like to learn if somebody feels I'm doing it the wrong way. And please let me know, what you cite for rules if you do notice that. So anyways, here we go. So 5 against 2, that's going to be a 2-to-1 advantage for the Union. Well, if I add in, the artillery units, nominal, 1 more, it could actually be a 3-to-2 advantage. So it's a +1. Defenders disordered +2. No charge benefits, no aggressive leader. Terrain is woods is going to be -1. So we go back down to a +1. There's no attacker's not disorganized, but there's no brigadier attacking with it, so it's going to be a -1. So now we're down to 0. That's it. Okay, so it's a straight up 0. So this should be interesting. Let's see what happens. Rolls a 5. Defender retreats. Retreats 1 hex and is disordered. So the top unit is going to be disordered. So they're disordered already. So we go to our second disordered chart. And on the shock attack, we've got to do a UDD for the Confederates. They are a 6. And they pass. So they lose a strength point. But I'm afraid once they do that, now they've got to do a collapsed route check. They got to roll another UDD. Roll a 9. They fail. So they route, not surprisingly, 100 men. No ammo. Collapsed. So they route. So there's a routed unit here. That means they're going to have to check below once they get through the artillery. Now, the artillery, they're disordered at this point. Right, and they can't retreat, so they're actually abandoned. Both of these are now abandoned. Let's get our abandoned marker on here. Right over here in the shock attack. Alright, so there we go. They're abandoned right there. So now we've just got this route check over here on the 4th Virginia. They're a 7. They roll a 4. They're okay. So that's okay. So now the 18th can advance. Let's take that off. And they're going to flip over for their end of shock attack here. Now the 4th is in a tough position. They're going to try to do a reaction refusal. So there'll be a 7. Roll a 4, they're okay. They're going to refuse on the right. Alright, so this hex is taken. This hex is not. That's Union, that's not for the moment. And that's all for Ely. Alright, that was pretty good. They just took away 2 hexes from the Confederates. Basically, brigade, combat ineffective Stuart's brigade, and now are pushing against Walker's reinforcements over here pretty hard. Okay, let's move on to Elliott's units over here as well. So Elliott, following up, hopefully going to have a decent attack over here as well. Elliott's trying to push north and northeast across here. So let's see how we're going to actually play this one. Well, let's start up here with the 12th West Virginia. He is disrupted. He is not 116th. I think the 116th will start it off. Where's his buddy? Right there. Okay. So they're going to take a shot at them. Are they going to move? They're going to move afterwards. No, I think they'll just stay there. So there'll be 6 with a +2, +1 for rifles and +1 for prepared fire. Return will be 4. Yeah, they're going to have to return on them. 4 with a +2. So Confederates get a little bit better roll. So we have the Union 6 + 2 is 7, which is a D on the Confederates. Alright, so he's flipped over. Union gets an 8, which is a 4, +2 is 10, 1D. Alright, so he takes a hit, goes down to 5, and then is disrupted. Alright, but that's kind of what I expected. That was going to be kind of a good thing. They're disrupted, so that's actually a good thing on here, because we're going to try to push them here a little bit here in the future. I think the 12th West Virginia here, they could, now that frees them up to take a shot. I think they will. It's not going to be a great shot because they're disrupted, so it's just going to be a straight 5 on the 10th Louisiana. Oh, they roll an 8. It's a D. It is a D, so they're going to take step loss. They're down to 3, and they have to retreat, which is not a bad thing. Let's move this over here to Williams. So they'll go back 1 and actually go 2 back to here. Alright, so that now allows the 12th West Virginia B to do something. And they will do something. So they fired. They're going to come up 1. And actually, no. They're going to come up 1. Come up 1 to there, and then turn. Like so. They'll take a shot at them as well. So that's going to be 4 with a +1. The rifles. 3 + 1 is 4. It's a small D. Character of 6. Roll 3. They're okay. All right. So these guys are all completed up here. Moving along the line here. I want to do a couple of things here. First off, we're going to move these back a second. Go with the 123rd Ohio, the 2nd Battalion there. Oh, actually, I forgot about them. Where do I want them? If I move them up in with them, they're going to have to recombine. Oh, they should have recombined. Oh well, I missed that one. They would have to recombine. 5 is 10. Yeah, I'm going to still keep them separate. So he's going to move up just 1. He'll already stand put for now. Now the 123rd, they're going to go 2, 3, 2, and actually they're going to turn and go 2, 3. Here we go. Come on, get out of the way. There we go. There we go. And they're going to take a shot at the 2nd Louisiana, which I think is going to have to reply. So they will be, let's see, the ERs, they'll be +1. If I'm into the woods, it's 0. 21st Louisiana is 5 with a +2. Okay, here we go. So Union gets they're a 6 with a 4. It's a small D. Confederates get +2 is 5, so they're low ammo on a 5. They're a small D as well, but these get a low ammo. That is a little tough. All right. So each one got a small D. So we'll take the Confederates first. They're a 7. Ooh, they roll a 9. Ouch, they're disordered. That's not good for them. And for the Union, they are a 6. And they roll a 9. So basically it's a standoff. They each blast away at each other, disrupting them. Okay. Second half of the 123rd with Elliott now has a choice. They can come up to, they could turn and go into here. That would leave their flank in the air. Actually, there, right? Yes. 1, 3, 2. Right, they can't get up there. They can get up and put pressure, but he could be flanked. All right, I think we got to do it. So I think they're going to have to turn for 1, so they're in attack mode, and then go into here for 2, 3. They're not going to shoot at anybody, as to not get this unit shooting. Get ready to attack them up there. Okay, so that covers the northern half here. We've also got 122nd down here, which I believe I want to get forward as much as possible. They're low ammo. All right. So they're going to move up to here and take a shot at the 2nd Virginia, who was refused. So that means they're going to be 4, 3. So it's only going to be 4 strength points shooting against 5. So 5 +1 for rifles, -1 for woods, so it's 0. 4 +1 for rifles, +1 for prep, and -1 for woods. So it's a 5 with a no modifiers and a 4 with a +1. So 5, 0. That's going to be low ammo. So that's D on the Confederates. 0 + 1 is nothing. All right. So they score a low ammo. That's going to hurt here, I think, next turn. So they score a D. They, I believe, are an 8. I'll check that after the roll. Yes, they roll 4, so they're good. Yeah, they're an 8. So that had no effect. Now we'll move up the other one next door. They'll move 2 into there, take their shot. They're low ammo, so they'd be 5. -2, -3 for the woods, +1 for the rifles. So it's going to be 5 -2. 4 makes it 2. D -2, no effect. Because they're an 8. Can't get anything from there. Alright, now we've got the last battalion here. And they will go 2, 3. Oh, come on, here we go. Right there. Try to close up over there. Where's Elliott? Oh, Elliott's over here. You should be right there. Okay, move these up here a little bit. I won't put them with Elliot because there's such a mess in here. Ah, not a mess, but close quarters. Then we've got the 13th over here, and then we've got the 12th as well. What do I want to do with the 13th? Might be useful for holding some of these positions temporarily. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What that's gonna be 5, 7 into there. I'm gonna hold him 7, 8. And we'll just keep those hold. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 5, 6, 7, and then 8 up into here. Oh, those guns were abandoned, so if they stay like that, then the Union's going to get 4 more points. That'll give them 9 points. So they're coming back pretty strong. So that covers them here. What about the rest of the 13th? We've got this hex pretty much blocked off, so those should be able to hold that, I believe. Excuse me. I think we'll move. I'll try to keep them together a little bit. I think they'll move up towards the woods just to keep them in command. That'll be 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully he'll be replaced here, possibly the next turn. Okay. All right. So that's all for. Or no, excuse me. We got the 12th over here. I was going to have these guys move up 1, 2, 3, 4, just to cover flank coverage. And this collapsed unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up there. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's it. Milroy's done. Oh no, what am I doing? Milroy's not done. I got to do the shock attacks. Ah, come on. So, shock attacks, nothing here. We're going to have him going against him. It's going to be a straight attack. I didn't have any shooting over there because I wanted to just use their Union, use their numbers on there. So that's going to be 1 shock attack right here. And then these guys are going to go after them. It's going to be another shock attack. Over here. Right there. Okay, 2 shock attacks. Alright, so going into our shock attack. Retreat before combat. Yeah, I think this guy really wants to retreat before combat. So he's going to come back to there. Let's put that in there as a marker. So he's got to do a UDD. He's a 6. Oh, no, that's not good. They fail on the retreat before before combat. Okay, they got to do 1 more. Oh, they roll a 9. Oh, devastating. They routed. Oh boy, that's not good. So that's really not good for the Confederates. All right, so they're routed. So these guys here. They may advance. Actually, where's that shock marker? I didn't want to take that off yet. Like that. Okay, so now over here, I think they're going to try to stand their ground. I think 2 to 1. But if they can get firepower on them, actually no, they're gonna retreat. They're gonna retreat back into here. In with the 1st. Johnson's units up there. They're going to retreat. They don't need a UDD because they're not disrupted. But the Union may advance on that one as well, which I think they are. So now we'll go to the advances. Comes off. We're actually going to have Elliott come forward and turn that way. I'm going to leave him back here because I want to get him back in good order if possible. And this one as well. He's going to go forward like this, which is going to spur a refusal up there. It's going to be an 8 or less. 2, he's good. So he refuses his flank. Okay, that's all our shock attacks there. Alright, so that's the end of Milroy's turn. Quite a bit of action here. Let's see how we're getting along here. Ooh, quite a bit of time on this one. So let me pull the next chit, see what it's going to be. It's going to be Milroy. Ooh, Milroy again. So he has a chance to follow up on this. Getting very critical at this point. So I'll keep you on. This might be a long one for you. So bear with me, folks. It's a good one. Confederates had a good position, but it's slowly crumbling under the weight of the Union. And now Milroy has the 2nd activation. Or the 3rd activation, I should say. So coming down here to Ely, we're going to get him going here again. I think, wait a minute, let me look at this. I think we're actually going to go with Elliott first. Because I do want to bring back this 13th Cavalry. And I do want to continue the push up to the north. Alright, yeah, let's go with Elliott here first. So, starting from the top, let's see, 12th Pennsylvania. We'll hold off on them. Let's see about the West Virginians. They are going to take a shot at the Louisianans. Range of 2, so it's going to be a +1 for the Union. Shot. Confederates, they'll hold their fire. They will hold their fire. So 4 with a +1. 2 + 1 is 3. At 4 is a D -1. So they're a 6. 6 - 1 is 5. They're okay. So they've fired. They will close on them. Like turn and now turn. Yeah, I think they'll close on them like that. So that will kind of lock them in a little bit. Their companions here will go 1, 2, 3. Didn't have them rally, so they're still disordered. That's going to be something to watch. These guys here, they're a 5. They've got to recover. Actually, you know what? Milroy is going to come up and help them. So that's going to be 5 with a -2. That was a 1. That's inspiration. Milroy on his white horse. Alright, so take care of them. Now, 116th Ohio here. They're going to cross the creek. 1, 2, 3. Let's see, 1, 2, a turn, and then 3 like that. We're going to get blasted either way. But I think they're going to take a shot at one of these. Because they're only going to be a 4. Yeah, they'll do their initial shot at them. So it'd be 5 against 4. Plus ones for each. 5, 4, plus ones. 1 and 1, 2. So 2 on each. It's a D minus 2 for both. The union is a 6. Minus 2. Yeah, he's fine. Confederates are an 8. With a minus 2. Yeah, they're okay. Alright, so that was no effect. Now, coming over here to this attack. Not great, because they're going to have to attack both. But I think I can get Elliot going in there. So they're going to turn for 1, 2, 3. Leaving Elliot there for just the moment. So he's going to fire at the stack. 4. They've got, so they'll have 7 firing. Do I just want them to come up and assault? I could do a 6. Yeah. Okay. So they're going to fire at them. So there'll be 6 on 4 for the first shot. Plus 1, minus 1. Yeah, so 0. That'll be plus 2, minus 1, so 1. So 6 straight up and a 4 with a plus 1. Ooh, so the 6 gets a 1d plus 2. The 4 gets a d plus 2. So that knocks them down to a 3. And then now we've got plus 2, but Johnson's there. Well, actually I should do a leader loss check. No leader loss check. No leader loss. So now it's going to be a minus 1. Yeah, he's okay. So he doesn't disrupt, but he does lose a strength point. Tough battle here forming up. Alright, now Elliot is... Yeah, he's got to go in there. This is a critical point. They want to take Stephenson's depot. Alright, now the 110th. Now they can only be hit by 3 up here, but they can also be hit with 3 up there. Now if they assault, they're going to have to split, aren't they? Because they can't... They can't do anything. If they fire at them, yeah, okay, they'll fire at them. I think I'm not sure how the shock will go, but that'd be 7 plus 1 plus 2 minus 1. 7 plus 1 coming back will be 3 plus 2. All right, 7 plus 1. There we go. 9 and 9. 7 plus 1. That's a 1D, and then on the Confederate side, they're a 3. It's going to be a 1D plus 2. Okay. That was pretty devastating. Shots. They're down to a 2. They're also disrupted. Do a leader check for the Confederates. No, they're fine. Alright, now they disrupted, so the lower unit needs to take a disrupted check. They're okay. They had a minus 3 anyways. Alright, so now these guys, they take a 1, so they go down to 8. And a D plus 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. So they're okay. 110th Ohio is hanging tough. Now, these guys can fire back as well, so they're going to get a 3 with a plus 2 again. Ooh, 7 plus 2. Oops. Sorry. 7 plus... They're a 3. They're a D. So they do become disrupted. Alright, and they are there. Alright, so that covers most of this for cavalry, which figure out something for in a minute. Now, moving down south here, we still got the 123rd Battalion B. They're going to try to recover. They're a 5. Nobody helping them. Oh, they roll a 6. No big deal. Alright, then we got the 122nd Ohio. Two, or -2. They're really not going to be effective shooting at them. So they'll be a -2 no matter what. So I think what we're going to do is just have the other unit move into here. So these guys will actually recombined. So they're 9. It's 122nd Ohio. 22nd Ohio. Here it is. So there'll be a strength of 9. And they will have low ammo because both of these will come off now. But they can now attack with them. They'll be 14 against 7, so it'll be 2 to 1. So that'll be interesting. Here in a few minutes. Next, now we've got, last thing is 13th Cavalry, which I think now these guys can oh, wait a minute, they're under attack. Alright, somebody must be shouting at me because they're under attack, so that means they could only go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They could only wind up here, so we're going to put them back here. So, I mean, that's fine. There's no harm, no foul, because Confederates couldn't do anything against them over there. But now, do I want them to stay there? I don't think so. I want them to go 1, 2, turn, 1, 2, or turn, 1, turn, 2, turn, 3, turn, 4. Right, I didn't want them to do that. These can come off. These can come off. There we go. All right, very good. So, assaults. Assaults. All right, you got Ewell up here. They are 6 versus, I think this is going to be 6 up here as well. Up there, 2, 5. That's a 1 to 1. They're going to get a shot at them. -1. Got leaders. Right. They did an assault last time, so there'll be no fatigue. No fatigue in there for Elliott yet. Because of assaults, or shocks, excuse me. So, yeah, okay, I think we got to push them. Shock attack there, and we're going to go with another shock attack down here. Okay. So here we go. So these guys down here, do they want to retreat before? They would really like to, but I don't think they have a good opportunity because they'd only go there, and then that would potentially mess with them. They'd have to go through them over to there, so they'd have to UDD over in there, and that would leave them out of position to support this hex. So I think they've got to stay put. These guys, since these guys are disordered, they are not shocking. These guys are just shocking. They're going to stay put as well. Okay, so now we do our defender UDDs. So this one is going to be a 6 with a -3. Yeah, he's fine. And this one down here is going to be an 8. Yeah, they're both okay. So now they can shoot back. So this one, which has a top unit of 2, firing first. So there'll be 2. Oh, they're disordered, so it's going to be 2 with a -1. That's not going to be great. First shot, it's a miss. And then we've got a 3 with a +1. So they're still in good order. Ooh, that's going to do something here. 9. That disorders Elliott's unit. So that's a help for the Confederates. There we go. Alright, so that's all there. These guys are going to take the shot, of course, at this guy. Now, they have their front refused, so there's going to only be a 4 with a +1. 7 + 1's 8. That is a disruption. So that is helpful to the Confederates. Alright. So now we go into the attacks. So let's start down here. The Union is going to be 14 against 7, so it's a 2-to-1. So we're going to get a +2 right off the bat. Defenders disordered, no. Charge benefit, no. Leader, there is a leader attacking, so that's going to apply. Terrain is going to be a -1, and then attacker disordered is a -1. So that's going to be a straight up attack. Straight up roll, I should say. Rolls a 3 standoff. Both sides are disordered. Okay. So that pretty much ends it with them. Okay, so they're disordered. This is going to be the second disorder for that unit. Ooh, not good. They're a 5. So, second disorder. They got to roll a 5 or less. They roll a 4. So they lose 1. We'll go down to 8. Like that. They are disordered. No losses there. Okay. So that gets out. Actually, let's leave the shock attack. I'm going to do the final phase of that. And then over here, we've got 6 against 5, so it's 1-to-1. No modifiers there. It's going to be minus, defenders disordered +1. Attackers disordered -1, so it's back to 0. -1 for terrain. That's it. So it's going to be a -1. Not real great, but 4 goes to 3. Again, another standoff. So let's see here. We've got these guys are disordered, so that's a second disorder on them. So they're going to have to do a UDD. They get a -3. They're okay. So they're going to lose a step. So they're bringing down a 1 and collapses them. And then these guys will disorder. And that's that. Okay, then ending the turn, the Union, now that we've actually engaged in the attacks, the Union has to, let's see, yeah, post-shock, yeah, post-shock disorder for the Union. So he's going to lose a step because he's already disordered, so he goes down to a 5. And that'll end shock. And then these guys over here will lose a step. Their 8 goes down to 7. And they will go down to 4. Okay. Alright, so that really wasn't very profitable for the Union. Did some damage. Did collapse 1 unit here, so they've got 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, they're on the verge of combat ineffectiveness as well, up to the north, because they've got 1, 2, they got 1, 2. units there. He's collapsed. No, they are going to be combat ineffective. Okay, so that is kind of useful. It was combat ineffective for them. Okay, moving along here, along the line, we're going down to Ewell now, who can really swing in and do some damage. So we're going to have, first off, the 87th PA. I think they're just going to stand and shoot at them. So that's going to be 7 with a +2 -1, so it's +1. And the defenders are going to be disordered, so they're going to be 1, 0, -1. But it's only going to be 3 points. So 3 with a -1, and then a 7 with a +1. So +1 is 8. The Union gets some sort of hit. That's a 1D +2. Confederates got a 5, goes to a 4. On a 3 is a D -1. Alright, let's do the D -1 first. They're a 6. And they're fine. So they take step loss. So there goes down to 6. And then now a D +2. So a 7. Roll a 0. So they hold. Alright. Damaging that Confederate line. Now the other 87th, they're going to turn 1. Go into here for 2, 3, which is the bridge. Alright, and I'll have to stop there. Walker's in a precarious position, but they now solidify those two hexes, victory hexes. Get a couple more points. Now, moving along, we've got the 18th Connecticut and 5th Maryland over here. Now, the 18th took the guns. They're just going to sit on them, I think, and try to recover. So they will be a 5 with a +1. But they do recover. Inspired, 18th Connecticut recovers. 18th Connecticut over here. We're going to move up. They've got low ammo. They can't recover it. They're going to move up 2. Or actually, across the ravine is 3. Into there. I don't think they're going to shoot. Ely is going to join them. These guys are going to try to recover late a little bit. 5th Maryland is coming up as well. Into there. 5th Maryland. Be 1 -1 0. They will be 2. Firing at 2. What are they? They're 7. I think they're just going to charge them. They're not going to shoot. Save their ammo. Now these two are going to try to recover. 18th Connecticut C. Rolls a 4. He's in good shape. And then the 5th Maryland, they need a 5 or less as well. Rolls a 2. All right. All of them are inspired. And are recovering. Alright, so let's just move these up a little bit. Cavalry, I think they're not going to go into the woods. They're just going to stay on the flank and stay right there. Alright, so now shock attacks. They recovered. They're going to go, actually I think I only have those 2 go in. He's only at 2 strength, so this is going to be tough if he stays there. So it's going to be these 2 over here. Then we have the 87th PA over here. They are now down to 6. Still dangerous, but I'd like to push them out. Get up into there. So yeah, I think they'll shock attack over here as well. Good. Okay, so those are our shock attacks. Retreat before shock. This guy's in a tough position. He's going to be hit pretty hard if he stays put. What is he? Yeah, that's 12 strength points. So he's like 6-1. So he's got to retreat. He's going to lose his refuge flank. He's going to go back in with the 27th, and he's going to have to do a D. Rolls a 7. He's just okay. So I will stay there. I'll do advances here shortly. Move back. All right, over here. 6, he's disordered. If he retreats, he's gonna potentially have some problems, but yeah, he's gonna stand firm or try to. So his pre-shock check rolls a 7. He is okay. Now he's going to try to shoot back. Now they're going to fire back with 3 into the woods, so it's going to be a -1. He's disordered rifle, so that's 0 there. So it's going to be 3 with a -1. Goes down to a 5. Uh-oh, low ammo. Going to have a D. D on the Union. His Union is 6. Oh, rolls an 8. Wow. Disorders him. He is now low ammo. He is at the tip of the defense and holding out. Alright, so now we still got the shock attack to come in here. So he's now going to be 6 against 7, so there's nothing for the odds. They're both disordered, so it's +1, -1, so that's going to be 0. Does hold the train, which is going to be a -1. Ewell was shock attacking, so yes, he's going to be in there. Okay, so it's going to be -1 to the dice roll. 7 goes down to a 6. Defender retreats 1 hex and is disordered. Oh, this is going to get messy. First off, he loses his refuge flank. Now he's got to go back 1 hex. The only hex he can go into is this one right there. Without incurring some sort of penalty, I should say. So he goes in there. He is disordered. So he's got to roll for a second disorder. Or, no, he is disordered, so he's got to roll on the second disorder chart, which is another UDD. Rolls a 6, he's fine, so he'll lose a strength point. He's down to 5. Now he can't stay there, so he's got to go back 1 more. He's going to go into that hex where Sturt's fatigue is. Right there. Alright, this can go back there for a moment. Now the North Carolinians need to take a UDD. Oh, and they fail. So they're flipped over. Oh, Confederate line is crumbling. Union is pushing hard. So they're UDD'd over there. Okay. So that's all. Now the Union can advance. Does he want to advance or does he want to like... Well, they can't. Oh, he can't because he's disordered. So, yeah, okay. So there's no advance there. He will take a step loss because of the shock, post-shock. Right in there. Alright, that's good. So now over here, these guys can advance. Now they didn't shock, so there's no post-shock, but they can advance. That's the 18th. I think we'll have them, the 18th, come in there. Keep the line going, even though he's low ammo. And now the 5th Maryland will also come up to there. Okay, that's all of Ely. Now, one big question here. I just need to look something up. instant of exit. Okay, so these guys can start to move off. And I think that's what we want to do with McReynolds. They can actually move off now and gain victory points. So first off, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's off. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. McReynolds will stay on the board just to get them off, keep them moving. And he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So that'll get him. Let's see. Cavalry will be 1 point for both of those. The battalions. There's 3 battalions. There's another 1.5. So there's 2.5 points right there. That's good. So actually, Union's clawing back here, very quickly with these attacks. So they're in good shape. So, anyways, that's the end of Milroy's turn. All right. Getting along here. I'm going to pull one more, see who it is, and I think I'll wrap it up for this session because I think we're over an hour now. I can't see my clock from here, but Johnson. Okay. Johnson will be next. All right. I'm going to wrap up the session here now. Pretty intense fighting here. Pretty interesting fighting. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. As I said, if I've made some mistakes or comments, please comment, and we'll try to correct as I go through. As somebody had pointed out to me, lots of rules. Yes, there are. Can't remember everything, but hopefully I get enough of the core stuff in here that it makes it look good, and having a lot of fun with it at least. You can see that the Confederates had a good start, but now here come the Union, and we'll see how it goes for these last half of this turn and next turn. Thanks for watching. Okay, coming to the end of the 7 a.m. turn. I continued on and played out the rest of the AMs. It wound up being 3 of the Johnsons and then 2 of the Milroy AMs to finish off the turn. A little bit of fighting over here, not much, because we're coming to the end of the turn, so fatigue's coming in here, so it gets a little bit more tricky for units to move. Also, the Confederates are really beat up over here, really trying to hold these victory hexes as much as they can, because Union took 3 of them here at the turn, and really beat up Walker and Stuart's units here to the south and in the middle. Also, Williams up top here got pretty beat up too. Still in good shape, kind of, to hold out with Stephenson Depot, but he is BCE, Brigade Combat Ineffective. Same with Stuart over here. A couple of notable things here. The Union kind of recovered their disruptions over here. A little bit of reposition for Milroy and Elliott. Get back into the center of the battle after the push up here to the north. To the south here, Elliott really didn't do too much after his big attack that you saw before. Walker came over here, tried to help out the units, but some really bad recovery rolls. Rolls a 9 over here twice, and a 9 over here. Loses 3 strength points off of those units, so those had to retreat. We just have the 37th Virginia holding out down here now. They're not going to be able to counterattack, and these guns are going to be in the Union possession over here. And actually, this should flip to 2, by the way. And that's going to give them 4 victory points right there to come back with. So really tough turn for the Confederates, really just trying to hold the line, but the Union had some really strong attacks, really good push to get the Charlestown Road Bridge over the railroad and be able to push towards Stephenson's Depot. So with that, what does our victory point look like? Well, a couple things here. As I said before, we've got Brigade Combat Ineffectiveness for Stuart's brigade over there, so that's 5 points for the Union. And then we've got another one up here for Williams, which is 10 points for the Union. Let me get some markers out here. So they've got 10 points right there. All right, and well, actually, those counted towards the end of the game, but the ones that count for this turn, they got 3 points here for the victory hexes. So they've got 3. And the Confederates picked up 3 more because they held 3 up there. So they're now up to 18, 19, 20, 21. So they're up to 21 points versus the Union 3 points. But as I said, the Union has 10 points for brigade combat ineffectiveness, so 2 units, or 2 brigades. So that's going to give them 10 points for 13. Plus the cannons over here is 4 points. It's 17. Plus units exited. Sorry, it's off the map here. Let me just hide the dice camera for a second. I believe it's that one. Nope, that's the wrong one. That's the one I want. It's that one. So you can see off the board here, we've got 1, 1.5, and 1, so that's 3.5 more points. So as we said, 17, 3.5 makes 20.5 to 21. Now the Confederates do have some cavalry points. They picked up 4 plus 3 right here. Yep. So they've got 7 more. So they've actually got 27. And the Union has 21.5 points. So still a very close game. The Union is still pushing here. They'll probably attack again, maybe take these 2 to take away points, victory point hexes for them over here as well. I'm not sure if we'll get any more brigade combat ineffectiveness, but we can start streaming off potentially some units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These units here could stream off and get us 1, 2, or 1.5, 2.5 points over there as well. And then all depends on the victory hexes, and maybe we can even get these cavalry off over here as well. So it's going to be close. It's going to be a tight one here in the last turn, going on to the 8 a.m. turn. And we're going to have to see how it goes. So the Union has fought back quite heavily, took a position that was tough, but pushing back this blocking force, and maybe this time they will escape Winchester. So thanks for watching. I know this last video was a bit of a long one, but hopefully you enjoyed it. If you really like it, please like the videos. Comments always appreciated for any questions, comments, thoughts, ideas, mistakes, etc. are always good. So hit the like button, leave a comment, like the channel, and we'll go from there. So we'll see you for the next turn, 8 a.m. turn, to wind it up. Thanks. Have a great day.